Hey guys, it's Mrs. C here with Cycle 1, Week 7, New Grammar Ideas for Tutors. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. I will be gone next week. Not really gone. We're having fall break next week. So we will be skipping next week. I will be back with week 8 on, I believe it's October 16th. So 2 weeks from today will be week 8. I apologize to those of you who we won't be on schedule with, but hopefully we'll match up again at some point in time. So anyway, week 7, we start off with geography as usual. And since we are going on a break and I won't see the kids for a couple weeks, I brought in Smarties for today. So I went over their locations first, showed them all, had them repeat after me, and then gave them their Smarties and had them put a Smartie on each location. They're fairly easy to find on the map because they're, especially the first 3 are bigger. But I did switch up the order slightly from what's in the guide. So I went, did the main areas from Hispania to Germania, and then I dropped down to Carthage just because it was easier to kind of take their fingers and run it down the map right to Carthage. And then I have them take their finger and go follow the coastline of Africa over to Alexandria in Egypt. So that was just a little bit easier for them, I think, to find. So I had them put their Smarties on there, and then I said, eat your Smartie that is where, the Nile River Delta is. And so then they would say whatever that place was, and they would eat that Smartie. Once we were through with that, we went over them one last time with me pointing and them repeating after me. So that was geography. For English, we are back. We are still in our prepositions. So we have in. So you're going to put your fingers in your hand. In. And then you just kind of squat down for inside. For into, you put your hands on your knees. And then you just kind of step forward, like kind of jump forward like you're kind of jumping into something. So, you just kind of squat down, similar to how we did for down, but just kind of take 2 little steps forward. And 2, it's like this. So it's a Y and going back and forth. And then near, you're going to have your hands like this and bring this hand near to this hand. Okay? So in, inside, into, like, near. Okay? For science, we have what are some ways animals reproduce. So we have a live birth, so we're going to rock a baby. Live birth. And we're going to hold our eggs very carefully in our hand. Eggs. Then we have fragmentation. That's where they break apart. So fragmentation. And then budding. Okay. So we went over those. I did them a few times and they did them with me. And then I went around the table and they could pick for me to do one and they guessed what it was, or they could do one and I would guess what it was. So we went all the way around the table and did that. For Latin, I went to IKEA yesterday. And so I got some new finger puppets that I brought in. Oh, excuse me. And let them each grab a finger puppet. And we did Latin with our finger puppets, so we sang it through with the chant or the song, I guess. And then I had them do it in their finger puppet voice, whatever voice they wanted to use for their finger puppet. Because some of these finger puppets, I don't know what voice you would do for it. So they sang it through in their finger puppet voice, and then we did it in our regular voice again just a few times. They were mostly just having fun with their finger puppets. So if you have an IKEA near you, these sets are super cute. There's turtles and frogs and a little moose, a little mouse. And these would probably work well for this cycle with all of our animal things. Tiger. Is that a tiger? I think that's supposed to be a tiger. Tiger, an elephant, a shark, a little parrot, a panda, and a rabbit. It's kind of the most eclectic set of animals, but they loved them. So that's what we did for Latin. For history, we did hand motions again for history with the song. I asked my parents what their kids liked the most in class, and several of them said they really like songs and hand motions. So if it seems like I'm doing a lot more of those, I am, but that's because my parents have said that's what works best for their class. So we have, show you all the hand motions I did for the words. So we did Hinduism. There may be a more official sign for Hinduism, but this is easy. My kids can do this. So Hinduism, and then we did 1500 BC. So we did 1 over here and 5 for 1500. And karma, we made a K. And then reincarnation, this is like a spirit coming up. And the caste system, this because they thought some people were up here and some people were down here. Then founded, and then we did this again, but we brought our hands close together because it's 6. Buddhism, again, just like in the timeline, sorry, you can't see me, but you just kind of have your arms like this and then put it down lower and kind of hold your belly because Buddha has a big belly. So Buddhism, then the self-denial, we're not going to let ourselves have it. And then path to enlightenment. Okay, so that's what we did for history. And I will remind you, in case you haven't listened to the song or you want to make a note of it, in the song, it says Buddhism before founded. So if you're doing the motions, you might want to add in to do the motion for Buddhism there, even though in the sentence it doesn't have Buddhism there, it has it later. So it says Buddhism, just like it says Hinduism, and then says the sentence. So for math, we just jumped again. They really like to jump, and they like me circling numbers and trying to jump on the numbers. I'm surprised because usually my boys get pretty bored with whatever we're doing fairly quickly, but they will stand and they will do math and jump for all the numbers. So that's what we did. Listened to the song, and I underlined that today. I didn't let the kids do it today because it takes too long usually if there's a lot of them. So I underlined and we just sang it through, and I added each time. And with this one, there is enough time in between. It seemed like to kind of underline several numbers before starting over. So that worked really well. So yeah, math, just jumping. And then timeline, we're to Jesus the Messiah. If this is your first time through, congratulations. You have almost finished Age of Ancient Empires. So good job. So we have Jesus the Messiah. So Jesus is, you're going to tap the middle of your hands. And for Messiah, you're going to make an M. So it's 3 fingers over your thumb. And we're going to, do like we do our sash. So from your shoulder to your hip, Messiah. And then Pentecost. So we're going to touch our mouth and make fire because they had tongues of fire and they're speaking in tongues. So Pentecost. In the early church, we're going to make a C, and it was founded on the rock, just like the temple. So we're going to put a C on our hand like this. Persecution just kind of looks like you're beating, is what it does. So persecution spreads the gospel. So we're going to take our G and we're going to turn pages in our book for the gospel. So persecution spreads the gospel. Okay. Herod's temple, we're going to make a T for the temple. Destroyed by Titus, make another T. D, Diocletian divides the Roman Empire. C for Constantine, legalizes, and then again you're going to tap your hands. This is a sign for Christ, for Jesus, and for Christianity. India, we always point here to our bindi dot. India's Gupta dynasty. So we're going to put our finger here and go down for a sign for gold because it was a very wealthy, it's kind of like the golden age in India's history. So yeah, that's all for week 7. Again, I won't be here next week. I won't be back to the 16th with week 8. So hopefully you guys are also on break and we can stay together. But if not, I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I will see you in 2 weeks. So, all right, guys. Thanks. Bye.